Hello. Today we're going to make some clay magnets of ocean things. So I have these magnets from before. They're little circles. So I sketched out some ocean things that would be the right size for these magnets. So we're going to make them out of clay. I have a few clay tools or tools that can be used with clay. So let's get those out. And we have a whole bucket of air dry clay, so let's use it. Let's start with the sand dollar. So get a little chunk out and make a ball. That looks like the right size. So let's flatten it out. We can try using the brush, but let's put some water on it and just flatten it the best that we can. That's probably a little bit big, but that's okay. We'll put some water on the edges so that it smooths it out a little bit. Now let's draw the flower shape in the center with the knife. A little 5-petal flower shape right in the center. Don't forget the little air hole strips. Now it looks like a sand dollar. There's one. Now let's make a shell. So we'll roll it into a ball and then kind of roll and stretch it into a longer, pointier shell shape. And use some water to smooth it out. Let's try making a rope to wrap around it to make the shell design. That could work, but it's a little bit big. What if we roll it into it? Will it make the shell shape texture? Now we just made it bigger. Let's see if we can get it a little pointier. Let's just try putting the lines and the indentions in with a knife instead of trying to wrap it around. We could paint them later too, so I guess it's okay if they're not very visible. We just need a little bit of a line. I didn't really measure these out, so they got a little weird at the bottom, but it's okay. It kind of looks like a shell. Let's make some of them a little bit deeper of an indent. And then we can kind of round it a little bit. It kind of looks like bread too. I guess that's how you would make a bread out of clay. It looks okay. Alright, that one's done. Now onto a starfish. So instead of trying to make a star shape, I'm going to make a ball and flatten it out and then cut a star shape. So let's make a ball and flatten it out. And then using our knife, kind of draw a star shape and cut out all the little corners. It's okay if the arms are all different sizes. It's a real starfish. So we'll try to smooth out the top part a little bit and round the arms a little bit so they don't look like they were cut. But I should have rounded them out a little bit more and made them look fatter instead of like they were cut. But that's okay. Then instead of trying to make a bunch of tiny little balls to put on it for the starfish skin texture, let's use a fork and kind of poke holes into it on the arms, just to give it a little bit more texture and look like a real starfish. Then we can go back to the shell and put some more water on it and try to make it a little bit smoother, because it also looks like it was cut with a knife. Next, let's try a fish. Maybe it's a flounder, maybe it's just a fish. So we'll get one piece for the body and shape it into a fish shape. And then we can use this little triangle to be the tail, if you know how to attach it. Put some water on it and squish it in there. And then some more water on top to smooth it out a little bit. Now he needs a headpiece. So we'll get another little chunk and sort of shape out his headpiece. It's kind of like a mohawk shape. And then we'll cut the little ridges in where the different colors would be. It's a little big for him, but that's okay. He has a big mohawk. And use some water to squish it onto the body. And let's use this extra little piece to secure the tail better on the back side, because that part won't be seen when it's on the fridge. But we don't want the tail to fall off, so. Now he needs a fin. So we'll shape him a tiny fin for his little arm. That's too big. For his little arm. Little arm. Put some little cuts in the body and then use water to squish his fin on. And a little mouth hole. Okay, let's peel him off of the lid And let's try the crab. I don't know if this is going to work because of the arms and the legs and the claws. But let's start with the body. So we'll make a little ball and then sort of squish it into a crab body shape. It's cute. Now we'll make a claw. So we'll get a little piece and sort of roll it and fold it into a claw shape. And then we'll cut the fingers apart. That's a little big. Okay, there's the little finger and the hand part. I'll kind of squish those up and then stick it on the body. That's a very big claw for that size crab. I'm not sure that it will be able to stay as a magnet. Well, we tried to make a crab. We'll try again next time. Let's make another shell and try the rope wrapping part. So get another chunk and make a little shell shape and then make a really thin rope. I spilled my water everywhere. My table shakes. Okay, start wrapping it around sort of at the top. And wrap it all the way around the shell. And try to make all the rope pieces the same size or getting smaller towards the bottom. And make sure to use water to attach the parts where you started a new rope. And make some more rope. I think it will work. I'm not sure about the top part, but that's okay. So keep wrapping the rope around till you get all the way to the bottom. And use water to kind of smooth it out and fill in those little air holes. The little cracks between each rope piece. And we need one more for the bottom. That'll work. And then smooth it out a little bit so that it looks like it's all one piece. And try to fix the top part because right now it looks like an ice cream cone. You take a little chunk out, see if we can smooth it a little bit better. You add another piece of the rope to the top and smooth it out. There we have 5 clay ocean things. Hooray! Now it's time to paint. I have these old acrylic paints. We're gonna try to use these up before I open my new pack. Okay, now what? We have paint and paintbrushes. Well, we could use the blue and purple. Well, we know that we want this fish to be yellow, and we can make something purple, and then we'll need blue if it is going to be a flounder. So let's make some blue. All the caps are broken, but that's okay. The paint is still good. Let's make some yellow over here. I forgot to bring a palette, so we're gonna use the plate as a palette. So we'll put some white in with the blue and the yellow. And mix up the yellow and paint the flounder. That's a very pale yellow. But that's okay. We'll just paint him all yellow. And then he'll have a base coat. The brush is leaking hair. Get out of there, hair. Okay, let's make the yellow part a little bit more yellow. So we'll put a little bit more yellow on the plate and kind of mix it in. And pull out those extra hairs. And we'll make him a little bit more yellow. I got confused because I didn't look at a reference photo. So it's not really a flounder. It's just a yellow fish with some blue. But I wanted to get a nice coat on him so that he would be all yellow. Okay, there's Mr. Flounder. Now what? Let's make some purple. Some light purple. And we'll go ahead and make some pink too. Because we have to have pink and purple. Okay, so this shell could be like a pink and purple gradient. So let's paint the bottom pink. And the sand dollar could be pink, like a dark pink at the edges and then a lighter pink in the center. So let's put some of this pink around the edges. Don't forget the bottom. That's a little bit dark, so let's add some more white and lighten it up and see if we can blend it. That's not blending. Well, let's go ahead and paint the starfish with this light pink. We're leaking more hairs. I think the edges are too dark for the sand dollar, so let's cover that with this new light pink. And then we can stick our brush straight into the purple. And then, oh, that's a very dark purple. I thought it would blend better. Okay, well, let's add some more white. So maybe we can blend it down into the pink. It's a pretty color of purple. So maybe it could be a dark to light purple gradient. Let's try this shell. We'll put this purple at the bottom. And then let's make some more pink. And mix them together on the plate and blend them. That's blending a little bit better. So we'll do purple to pink. And then we'll put the pink at the top. That's not too bad. It did blend better. Okay, let's finish the bottom of the sand dollar with this new pinkish purplish that we made. And let's go over the edges again and see if now we can blend it better. And we'll put the darker pink in the center. And then for the starfish, we'll add a little bit more white. We don't want it to be too dark. And we'll paint the edges of the starfish. And then add some more white and make it a little bit lighter. And then we'll do the top. Oh no, they're sticking to the paper towel. That's why I was gonna use the plate for that. Oh no, Mr. Flounder. Well, okay. That's fine. Okay, we'll finish using what's in the brush here and make sure that we got all those holes in the sand dollar. Now for Mr. Flounder here, let's mix up our blue and white. And we'll start painting his mohawk with a smaller brush. So I forgot that Flounder is blue and light blue stripes. But for some reason I thought they were blue and yellow stripes, and then I forgot the stripes that are on the actual body part. But real flounders are like gray, so it doesn't matter. This isn't the actual Mr. Flounder. It's just a yellow fish. I kind of enjoyed this painting part with the small brush. Next time I will do more smaller details on the other ones too. But I think this went pretty well for a first try. So we'll paint the blue stripes on his tail too. Oh, my finger stuck to his head. Now he has a boo-boo on his head too. And some blue stripes on his fin. It's cute. It's a nice blue color. Alright. Well, we have to fix that shell. let's put these away. We have a lot of blue left. That should have been a clue that he needed light blue stripes, but instead I made more purple. And let's paint the flower part of the sand dollar with the light purple. Okay, and then let's use some of this purple and paint like the inside of the indent that we made with the knife. So maybe it will look like shadows or just purple stripes. I don't think this idea really worked. Maybe if I had made the stripe a gradient too, so that it followed the pink and purple, it would have worked better. But I just used the same dark purple for the whole stripe. So, I don't know. It's not my favorite. And then we'll paint a little indent at the top. And then these ones in the back. They don't all match up correctly, but that's okay. Okay, now back to the starfish, and let's kind of dot and blend in some of this purple into the arms. I don't know, just kind of more texture to his arms. Oh, and then we forgot the back, so let's make the back purple. So we'll paint all of the back with a small brush. And then kind of blend in the edges of the bottom of the arms where it's all cut and straight. Okay, and then let's see what we can do with this one. First we'll fill in this hole from the paper towel with this purple that we have. And clean the brush. And then, I don't know, let's see. Oh, my camera stopped recording, but I changed it to blue. I put some blue at the bottom and made a little blended gradient into the purple at the top. So now it's a purple and blue shell. So let's open this black and see if we can squeeze out a little bit for his eyeball. And his little mouth area, and his eye on the back of his head. And my camera stopped again, but we're back with markers. So I wanted to see if I could add like some extra blue stripes in the blue stripes, but the pen wasn't cooperating, so that's fine. For this one, I wanted to add some glitter or some metallics, but I don't want to mess it up. So for the starfish, I got a purple marker and did some more dotting on top of his arms. And then this one I kind of dotted around the edges of the flower shape with the purple to make it stand out more and give it some textures at the edges. And then let's find some other pinks and purples, and we'll just kind of dot some more dots along the arms of the starfish. This pink marker is like exactly the same color as the paint that I made, so you can't really see those ones as well, but they're there. Let's try another one. Put some dots towards the edges of the arms and kind of blend them into the purple dots. And some darker pink ones around the edges of the arms. I wanted to do the splashy thing, but I didn't want to make a mess and risk getting it on the other ones. So I just dotted and dotted and dotted with different pinks and purples. Okay, back to the sand dollar. Let's do a little bit of dotting with the exact same color pink, just to give it a little bit more texture but not really change the color of it. And then we have to use the glitter black for the eyeball so that it sparkles. This one, I don't know what to do with this one, so I think we might be done. That's not bad. 3 of them turned out pretty much the same colors, but I like the fish and the blue and purple one. So now it's time to seal them and put the magnets on. So let's get our Mod Podge and put some on the magnets, and then stick each clay piece on top of it and squish it on. Paint the magnet. Squish the fish on. And the shell, that one is having some trouble staying. We'll have to put some extra glue around the edges. And then the starfish, stick him on his magnet, and then using the brush like a spoon, get some Mod Podge and put it in a cup with a little bit of water, make it a little bit thinner, and this is how we're going to seal the paint. And then we can put it close to the edges of the magnets so that it'll help them stick. Don't forget the little air holes in the sand dollar. And we'll just paint over the top of each one. This one we'll put a little extra so that it like melts into the magnet and helps it stick. And then we'll seal up Mr. Fish's back part where he got stuck to the paper towel, and paint over him too, and the air holes, and then the starfish. Alright, they're all sealed, and we'll let them dry. And here they are on the fridge. I think they turned out well. They're kind of cute, and they go well with our other ocean items. Thanks for watching. Have a happy day.